Officially over the hill. These N4 so much better than the other games. Yeah. I enjoy it quite a bit more than the older games. Blasting. Some of those players, however, enjoyers of the older games, they might disagree. So much so they might make a 2-hour video telling you how bad the game is. Which is still wild to me, that that appeared in my feed. The old heads on Reddit just don't want to accept it. The Nile ain't just a river in Egypt, my grandma used to say. This game is not hard, people are really soft. I'd say it's definitely not the hardest Ninja Gaiden. But it's definitely not easy. Like, there's plenty of easier games out there. And the number of games that are harder than it are like much fewer. Everyone can like whatever they want, right? They feel like the new Ninja Gaiden 4 or the old ones. Ideally, combo. I agree. Ideally. But some people will make it their entire personality to hate something and make sure everybody knows they hate it and try to get you to hate it as well. What about you, Mr. Busa? How are you enjoying Ninja Gaiden 4? Have you managed to beat it yet? Or I assume you have beaten it. Have you managed to beat it on Master Ninja? There's one Japanese player that did chapter 1 single segment using Yakumo, same conditions. That's insanely impressive. We've been playing Best Souls 2. Great taste. What kind of build are you using? Does it involve katanas? Does it involve magic? You just make it with it. I respect it. Dark Souls 2 is my favorite from the trilogy. Where am I going? Y2? That's my favorite. It had a lot of really good ideas that were fun to execute on. For instance, Dark Souls 2 is the only of the trilogy is the only one that has a really good New Game Plus system. Kind of like Neo, they changed up the spawns a bit. You see a healthy amount of red phantoms, or dark phantoms I guess they're called. And you can access New Game Plus from base New Game with bonfire aesthetics, which is really, really cool. There's a bunch of like really cool stuff like power stancing. For whatever reason, they didn't bring back power stancing in 3, but they brought back a form of it in Elden Ring. The power stancing was amazing. Still is amazing. It's good in Elden Ring also. There was a thing called spices in Dark Souls 2. And spices lowered the requirements of, the stat requirements of spells and stuff. So if you were really into PvP, I mean even outside of PvP you could use it, but if you were really into PvP, you could make some really fun builds based on the spices. Like they capped, you could only lower them by so much, but you could still lower the requirements of spells. So you can get like a really interesting spell blade build going. Like Dark Souls 2 had a lot of really good ideas. They had bad ideas too. Like it wasn't all perfect. Like soul memory was terrible. Like don't get me wrong, Dark Souls 2 isn't a perfect game by any means. But the pros, and like the ambition behind it. Versus like 3 for instance. 3 plays it very, very safe. Basic Dark Souls. Dark Souls 1 I guess. Also plays it really safe. It imitates a lot of what Demon Souls did. But in less impressive ways. Dark Souls 2 stream win? Honestly, I wouldn't be against a Dark Souls 2 stream in the future. I should win. Give me one bad idea in Dark Souls 2 besides soul memory and ADP. Honestly, I could be a bit biased. But besides those 2 things, I wouldn't really... Honestly, even I didn't have a problem with ADP. Like, I understand the idea behind it. People hated that their iframes were limited, but you could just play with basic ADP. People like to wear a badge of honor that Dark Souls is a hard game. Then they get mad when they can't make it easier. It boggles my mind a little bit. I kind of just shrug my shoulders and roll with it. Because you can also just get a shield. Shields and great shields are incredibly strong. They have been since Demon Souls. Just use a shield if you don't want to level up adaptability for whatever reason. You think it's blown way out of proportion? I do too. No. Alright, Falco. Yeah, you get more than enough souls. And you only need like... You don't need like a massive investment either. You don't need to invest like 20 levels into ADP. Most get like 16 or something? I forget the number. It's like 16 adaptability. That's like 9 levels or something. When you beat the game with 100, like level 100 plus level 150 or whatever. You did play an action game with Tuna Settle today? You surprisingly had quite a bit of fun. Which one was that? I assume not Curse 2. Unless Curse 2 has a fair bit of action in it. Hey, PUBG? Not gonna believe you. DMC 2. Oh no. Oh yeah, you mentioned you were playing that the other day. I remember. Maybe DMC 6 stays. They'll bring her back. Dark Souls 1 on release was god-awful, but PvP was the worst. Because of the sheer broken, buggy mechanics, like Tranquil Walk of Death, there was a great sword in the game that belonged to a Stone Guardian that you can get really easily. It emits a giant AoE field that slows you down, and you're stuck fat rolling, or worse, right? And you could buff that, you could tumble buff that, so that giant AoE that slows you does damage over time, a lot of damage over time. And oh boy, let me tell you, every other every other invasion or any kind of PvP quickly turned into somebody using Tranquil Walk of Death. And that was like a bug. That's like on the buggy side. If we talk intentional mechanics, you had Fog Ring in Dark Souls 1 that prevented lock-on. So if you were a mage and you fought somebody with the Fog Ring, you could not lock onto them, so your spells will all miss. You were just completely out of luck if you decided to play a mage and the other person knew it. You just weren't going to hit them because you couldn't lock onto them, because that's how the ring was intended to be used. Don't even get me started about the things that they haven't fixed since like launch, like the backstab fishing, like the poise tanking, backstab fishing. Dark Souls 2 had the best PvP. Is where I'm going with this. Dark Souls 2 had the best. Dark Beast spam was pretty hilarious. Dark Beast spam also. The DLC introduced its own problems. I don't like that poison also. Need a shape trilogy run. BS fishing is fun. Depends on your playstyle, I guess. Some people say it's just a skill. It's a skill you gotta learn. You gotta learn how to backstab fish. It's part of the game. You know what else is part of the game? Adaptability in Dark Souls 2. How about that? How about that as part of the game? Dark Souls 1 PvP did have a lot of death. Dang it. Wait, did we do it? Dark Moon buff Falcon with poise was pretty good. I mean, curved swords were just very strong. I can't see the poison, so I'm really paranoid to walk until I'm sure the poison's gone. So I'm gonna stall. But curved swords, buffed curved swords were very strong in general. ADP was a cool idea. I think so too. I thought it was fine. But people complained. And they still complain. What's my health looking like? I'm not sure if I got hit or not. We're going to assume I didn't. Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring backstabs feel like crap. Is it worth buying? Coming from a huge nerd of Ninja Gaiden Black. I enjoy it. I'll say I played through the trilogy of Ninja Gaiden 1 through 3. I did Master Ninja, Ultimate Ninja, bunch of, you know, like high level content, I guess. But I only recently got into Ninja Gaiden, so take my advice with take my opinion with a grain of salt, I guess. But I think it's worth it. I enjoyed Ninja Gaiden 4 as like a relatively new fan in the past few months, which I thought was pretty great. Oh wow, I'm way back here. Okay. I only ever landed it a few times. But yeah, I meant to play the other. I meant to play some other ones. There's a chance I still might. It's just not a high priority. You played a lot of Dark Souls 3 PvP? I played the most Dark Souls 2. Lovely. I played the most Dark Souls 2 PvP. I played the least in 3. No, I played the least in Elden Ring, by far. Wonderful. Don't even want to risk it. You like invading Genghis? Just putting Dark Souls Remastered at 14. A Silent Demon destroyed you back then. Get rid of the lanterns. I think we sneak around. Gotta be real sneaky. Switcher combos seem dope. They are. They're very satisfying to pull off. After 6 is gonna be rough. One of many. Oh, what a... Big boss. Hey, how you doing? Is this no hit? It is. Segments it though. So if I get hit, I just go back to checkpoint. Terrifying. Terrifying. Basically not a single segment. But definitely no hit. Would no save, no hit be too hard? Yes. Maybe in the future. Maybe in like a distant future. But some of these stages are very, very long. So to do the entire run... To do the entire run in one go would be pretty crazy. At least at the moment. We can get that one day. Ninja Gaiden 2 and 3 have never been completed. No hit. No save. That is true. Those are also segmented too, huh? I think it'd be interesting to see what stages I could do. Like I said, some stages, like chapter 13, I think it is. Chapter 13 or 14, it's like an hour long. And it's full of laser traps and pitfalls. And some really, really tough enemies. And giant rocket, like heat-seeking missiles. Pace, are you implying you're reformed? Are you implying you've dialed it down? Is this family-friendly Taze? Yes, I'm impressed. Uh-oh. Hope Neo 3 and Ninja Gaiden 4 will have some day levels. Too far in between. Taze kidnapped my wife and forced her to watch Naruto. He still peaked Taze. Okay. You can add me in Discord and I can watch it if it's too long. I'll watch it later. In that case. Wait, how do I get up here? Oh, I just climb. I'm just being stupid. How you doing, Arya? How's your day been? Or is your day just beginning? I almost clipped out the map. Welcome back, Comblo. But yeah, I remember you talking about that. Or the conversation being had that no one's ever no-hit the Ninja Gaiden games without it being segmented. This one might be more of that. Just because, like I said, some of these stages are pretty long. So to do the entire thing in one go... What do we do here? There's another bird somewhere. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Wait, where is he? Oh, he's here. Have I already beat the missions challenges? I have. I cleared all the challenges. And I have gotten S rank on all the missions. And stuff like that. We're seeing how far we can push it now. How you beat the one where you start with 6 seconds? I don't know how to do it with the Akumo. But with Ryu, you start with the Wind Blaze. and that'll delam most things. And then you just take care of everything there. Like you hit the Goliath a few times, Windblade, and then just OT everything. And then the Van Gogh and the heavy armor guy spawns. You use the essence from the first wave to take those guys out. And then the last wave spawns, and you should have enough to do the bloodbath. Like one shot with the bloodbath, the berserk meter, whatever it's called. Like almost easier for the 6-second trial thing. Man, there's the red attack. I was waiting for that. You tried forever till you found a vid that did it. I figured someone's done it by now. It'd be crazy if no one has. I've never been up here. Wow, I've never gotten this. Crazy. This area in Hayabusa Village? Nah. We're gonna ignore that guy. We're not even gonna open that chest. We're not going to give him a single chance to hit us. You sacrifice yourself. You can just say the title in the chat. Because I don't know how to allow links in YouTube. This area looks straight out of Sekiro. It kind of does. Except for the giant Tengu. Oh boy, my favorite boss. It's so stupid how you can throw flying enemies and they fall to their deaths. Oh, bro forgot how to fly. But he is just like an actual demon though. This boss is so random, it is. Please, wall. Have mercy. Not what I wanted to do. I sprayed him on accident. Please don't port it to Neo 3. The first phase is the worst part of that fight. Love the execution, so sick. I agree. The first phase of that fight is honestly the worst. Now the big question is, did it count? We got it. The parry was completely on accident. I thought it was gonna cost me the attempt. Because normally after he does that, he does a red attack. Well, he always does a red attack after that. So I was gonna counter that and then, you know, do the damage window thing. But instead, whatever, it worked out. We got it.